One of the most common arguments that I hear from Muslims as to why they reject the Bible is because, supposedly, Jesus never died. Where does this belief even come from? Josephus, Tacitus, Pliny the Younger, Lucian, all of these non-Christian sources agree that Christ was in fact crucified. So why not the Quran? Why does the Quran deny the death of Jesus? And if Jesus didn't die, then what happened to him? In Al-Imran, the 3rd chapter of the Quran, we are given a summary of the life of Jesus. This summary includes angels speaking to Mary, telling her that she will have a son, the Messiah, named Jesus, who will be honored in the world. It includes Jesus healing the blind, the lepers, and raising people from the dead. And it even includes Jesus declaring himself to be a Muslim. Surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship him alone. This is the straight path. His disciples also claimed to be Muslims just as he was. The disciples said, "We will be the helpers of Allah. We believe in Allah and bear witness to you that we have become Muslims." So what ended up happening to this Jesus who supposedly lived as a Muslim? How did he die? Did he even die? An-Nisa, the 4th chapter of the Quran, explains to us that it was the unbelievers who claimed to have killed Jesus. We killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. But Allah argues they did not kill him nor crucify him, but it seemed so to them. And indeed, those who disagree about this are in doubt about it. They have no knowledge of it except pursuit of a superstition. They did not kill him for certain. Allah took him up to himself. According to the Quran, the death of Jesus is nothing but a superstition. Allah wouldn't allow Jesus to die, so he rescued Jesus by taking him up to himself and made it seem like Jesus had died. The famous Islamic scholar Ibn Kathir further explained this story in his own writings. Take a look. When Allah sent Isa with proofs and guidance, the Jews, may Allah's curses, anger, torment, and punishment be upon them, envied him because of his prophethood and obvious miracles, curing the blind and leprous and bringing the dead back to life. Even so, the Jews were not satisfied, and they went to the king of Damascus at that time, a Greek polytheist who worshipped the stars. They told him that there was a man in Beit al-Maqdis misguiding and dividing the people in Jerusalem and stirring unrest among the king's subjects. The king became angry and wrote to his deputy in Jerusalem to arrest the rebel leader, that is, Jesus, stop him from causing unrest, crucify him, and make him wear a crown of thorns. According to Ibn Kathir, the Jews wanted Jesus dead because they were jealous of the miracles that he was performing. So they went to the king of Damascus, and they made their complaints known to him. The king, in response, gave orders for Jesus to be crucified. They surrounded Isa in the house, and when he felt that they would soon enter the house, or that he would sooner or later have to leave it, he said to his companions, "Who volunteers to be made to look like me, for which he will be my companion in paradise?" And a young man volunteered. Allah made the young man look exactly like Isa, while a hole opened in the roof of the house, and Isa was made to sleep and ascended to heaven while asleep. A group of Jews got permission to crucify Jesus, so they looked for him and eventually found the home that he was staying in and surrounded it. Knowing that he wasn't going to be able to get away, Jesus asked for someone to volunteer themselves to be disguised as him. A young man volunteered, and Allah made him look exactly like Jesus. Meanwhile, the real Jesus was sound asleep, and Allah took him up to heaven through a hole in the roof. Wow. When those surrounding the house saw the man who looked like Isa, they thought that he was Isa. So they took him at night, crucified him, and placed a crown of thorns on his head. The Jews then boasted that they killed Isa, and some Christians accepted their false claim due to their ignorance and lack of reason. So, according to the Quran, Jesus, or a clone of Jesus, was in fact crucified. But here's the problem with that story. It's all plagiarized. In the book Gnostic's Second Treatise of the Great Seth, Jesus supposedly says this about his own death. For my death, which they think happened to them in their error and blindness, since they nailed their man unto their death. It was another upon whom they placed the crown of thorns. But I was rejoicing in the height over all the wealth of the rulers and the offspring of their error, of their empty glory. This Christian Gnosticism book was written in the 3rd century, but Islam didn't start until the 7th century. Apparently, Allah is so desperate to suppress the truth of Jesus Christ that he is willing to copy the fictional work of another man. So why does the Quran so vehemently deny the crucifixion of Jesus? Well, let's let the Quran answer that question for us. In Al-Imran, we are told that Allah caused Jesus to ascend to him. This was done because the disbelievers, the Jews, were scheming against Jesus to try to kill him. And as a result, Allah schemed, and Allah is the best of all schemers. Many Muslim apologists will argue that translation is not accurate. This verse should actually say, Allah is the best of all planners. But what they won't tell you is that the original Arabic word that is used here is makir. Now, I'm going to say something that might shock you. Makir doesn't mean planner, and makir also does not mean schemer. According to Lane's Arabic lexicon, the word makir really means he practiced deceit, guile, or circumvention, desiring to do another a foul, an abominable, or an evil action. Allah tries to falsify the crucifixion of Jesus because Allah is the greatest of all deceivers. That's the example that Allah has left for you, my Muslim friends. On the other hand, the example that Christ has left for us looks like this. For to this you were called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow in his steps, who committed no sin, nor was deceit found in his mouth. Until next time, salam.